It's too hot to have a proper intro for this video, so let's just start talking. One regret that I have about my ACs is that I didn't buy hot and cold ACs, and that is because I do have to use a room heater in winters which costs around 11,000 rupees. The great thing about hot and cold ACs is that they don't have to generate heat with electricity, so they only use 1/4 of the electricity compared to heaters, which is a huge saving on heating. The price difference between a regular AC and a hot and cold AC is also around 10,000 rupees or less, so instead of buying a separate room heater, you are much better off with buying a hot and cold AC. You may actually save more money by going with a 3-star hot and cold AC instead of a 5-star regular AC. I know that you may not be worrying about cold temperatures at all at this time, but thinking in the long term can save you a lot of money. Speaking of 3-star and 5-star ACs, I don't want to get into the specific details, but you are roughly going to recover the extra cost of a 5-star AC in 6 to 9 years with your electricity bill. I think both ACs have their place. If you are not going to run your AC a lot, for example if it is going to be in a guest room, then I think that a 3-star AC makes sense, but if you are going to run it for 12 hours every day, even for 4 months, then you can look at 5-star ACs. A 5-star AC also generally has slightly higher cooling capacity compared to its 3-star model, and you generally also get a horizontal swing in addition to vertical swing, while 3-star models generally have a manual horizontal swing. Even though ACs are luxury goods which attract 28% GST, you may find it to be a necessity for your survival in many areas of India, so if you can't easily afford a 5-star AC, do not feel bad about going with a 3-star AC at all. By the way, if you live in areas with dry air like Rajasthan, you actually don't need an AC till the rainy season, because in low humidity areas a cooler works so much better. You get fresh air unlike an AC. The power consumption is just 10 to 15% of an AC, and it just uses physics of evaporative cooling to reduce temperature, which also acts like a humidifier. So coolers are just so much better than ACs if they work well in your environment. In rainy season, the humidity increases, so they stop working well, and that is when ACs are much better. People also think that there is a big difference between different brands of ACs, but I personally don't think that is the case. Last year, I had installed 7 ACs from LG, Panasonic, Samsung, Voltas and Carrier, and I also have older ACs from brands like Daikin. All of these brands are giving similar warranty of 1 year on the unit, 5 years on its PCB and 10 years on its compressor. All of these brands give you special protective coating on their inside and outside unit, and except for differences in their operation, all of these ACs perform as expected. So as long as there isn't a big difference in the cooling capacity, I don't think that the brand of AC makes a serious difference as long as you are going with the mainstream brands. I don't have experience with very low-end brands like Marque. All of my ACs are running well after a year, and their service teams have also been responsive, so I am satisfied with all the brands, but this is of course not a long-term experience yet. I used to think that Voltas and Carrier ACs are cheaper than Panasonic and LG, so they will be worse, but they have also performed well, and I am also satisfied with the responsiveness of their services. So personally, the next AC that I buy may be from Carrier, because I found it to be very good while also being lower in price, or I may get this 3-star hot and cold AC from Blue Star, which also seems to be well priced. You also don't need the latest year's AC, because there are generally very small differences every year, and you can easily check what the differences are. So if you are getting a good deal on previous year's AC and the BEE star rating hasn't changed, then don't hesitate on getting that deal. Many people think that inverter ACs are somehow worse than non-inverter ACs, but at this point I really don't think that getting a non-inverter AC is a smart idea, because you get much better efficiency with inverter ACs. You can control the capacity and regulate the temperature in a much better way, and most of the AC brands are offering 5-year warranty on PCB, so I think that there is enough peace of mind with an inverter AC. I used to think that Wi-Fi is not an important feature, but it is really handy to be able to control your AC when you can't find the remote, and you can power it on in advance to cool your room, or you can turn it off remotely if you forget to do it. So if there isn't a big difference in price, I would really recommend going with a smart AC with Wi-Fi. Having a backlit screen on your remote is also a very underrated feature, and it really helps you operate it at night. Many ACs come with PM 2.5 or PM 1.0 filters, and it may seem like a big selling point, but these filters can just be these very thin strips, so it's good to have additional filters, but I don't think that they can make a big difference in the quality of air, and I wouldn't want to pay a lot of extra money for these features. Finally, let's talk about the tonnage, and if you have a small room, you can go with a 1 ton AC, while with a room larger than 150 square feet, a 1.5 ton AC works better. In my experience, you can often get away with using a 1 ton AC instead of a 1.5 ton AC even in medium sized rooms, but if your room is located on the top floor of your building, then you will need an AC with higher capacity because the sunlight on roof makes the room really hot. If your room gets a lot of sunlight on its sides, then you may also need a larger AC, but the recommendation of a 1.5 ton AC for a 150 to 240 square feet room is calculated with extreme conditions in mind, so you don't need to exceed this. The price difference between a 1 ton AC and a 1.5 ton AC is not much these days, and you can also reduce the capacity of a 1.5 ton AC, so if you are confused, you should go with a 1.5 ton inverter AC. Using an AC that is too large for a room can also create issues because even at 40% capacity, a 1.5 ton AC can make a small room too cold, so don't think that too high of a capacity doesn't matter. So I hope that I was able to clear at least some of your confusions about buying the right AC. I'll have the links to some of my suggested models in the description, and if you have any tips or suggestions for others, you could also comment down below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe with bell, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.